Hey there everyone, this is Samuel Johnson and welcome back to the Phantom Perspectives, and today we're going to be looking at episode 37 of Danny Phantom, Double Cross My Heart. And this episode is a Danny and Sam focused episode. In this case, what's going on is that a foreign exchange student has come to Casper High. His name is Gregor. Apparently he is from Hungary. And, well, at first glance, he seems like Sam's dream guy. He's a goth, or at least what he calls a Hungarian equivalent to goth, because even though he wears white, but even though he says that in Hungary, white is the new black, he's got a nice accent. He seems really nice and seems to get along with Sam and Tucker. And on top of that, he's also an ultra recyclo-vegetarian like Sam. As such, he seems to be Sam immediately starts falling for him, and Danny immediately just doesn't like him. However, before he can do anything, when he first show, Danny tries to spy on Gregor while he and Sam are getting to know each other, but things start kind of getting a little more complex when the guys in white start intervening, all the way back from the episode in season 2, all the way back from the episode in season 1. Pretty much, what's going on with the guys in white are that they're renewing their search for Danny Phantom. Well, and what happened was that in the beginning of the episode, they managed to find Skulker and they managed to nab his suit. They did nab Skulker, but he ran off when they grabbed his suit. And as from the data they've collected in the suit, they've been trying to narrow down Danny Phantom's identity. As such, Danny starts thinking. As such, every time Gregor's around, the guys in white's attack, and so Danny starts thinking that Gregor is connected to the guys in white, especially since he wears white. However, things just continue. However, no matter what happens, Gregor just seems to be like this really nice, cool guy that everyone seems to get along with. Sam and him are hitting it off more, and when Danny and pretty much just things continue getting worse when Danny admits that he was spying on Sam and Gregor, which causes Sam to get really angry at Danny. And part of the reason he even reacted at all was because Gregor tried making a move on Sam, even kissing her, but Sam told him that she didn't want to go that fast, and Gregor said he was cool with that. But things kind of come to a head when the guys in white manage to narrow down their intel as something they grabbed from Skulker's suit as Tucker's old PDA, as they're able to try and narrow it down to Casper High and so forth. Then, however, even though they're smart enough to go to Fenton Works, all they really think is that Danny, I suppose, or just hanging out, which something his parents think is just ludicrous. But in the end, they end up thinking that Gregor is Danny Phantom because of his white hair, and all the other options they can't think, and all the other options they don't think work. So I love how they say Danny can't be Danny Phantom because apparently he's too prepubescent, and they said that Danny Phantom was a prepubescent ghost child that was working outside the law, blah blah blah. As such, they decide to go after Gregor right off the bat. So Danny realizes that with Gregor as a target, Sam and Tucker are caught in the crossfire. As such, he goes to try and head them off, but unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, however, shortly before the guys in white arrive, Sam learns that Gregor is a fraud. As Gregor says he wants to go steady with Sam, but he wants Tucker cut out of the equation. Sam says, "No, I'm not doing that. Tucker's my friend, so he's a package deal," which causes him to go off the deep end and actually lose his accent. It turns out this whole thing was just an act so that he could get closer to Sam and try to build a relationship with her. Now she learns that it's a fraud. She wants nothing to do with him. And just as he tries to go to cheerleaders and pretend to be a jock, the guys in white attack. Danny is able to come in and save Thanks to Danny, Sam, and Tucker, Gregor is saved, and Danny manages to grab the guys in white from their plane because that's where they were attacking from, and pretty much tells them to back off from his friends. Actually, he throws them in mud, and apparently a policy of the guys in white are that their clothes always have to be white, so that kind of gets them in trouble. And Danny and Sam manage to make amends, and we also get a bit more shipping fodder. So, yeah, I just summarized the episode rather quickly. The plot's really nothing that much to talk about, but honestly, for what it is, though, I think this is a really cute episode. Like, this one is one of those episodes where the superhero stuff is kind of pushed to the back a little bit, but not to the point. But it's one of those cases where I'm perfectly okay with that, because the stuff on the foreground, which is Gregor, Sam, Danny, and just kind of that love triangle, I think it's actually really adorable. Like, this is like when the instant Sam starts hanging out more, like the instant Gregor starts showing an interest in Sam, Danny just immediately gets jealous. Like, just something about him, like he just immediately thinks that Gregor is someone not to be trusted, and it comes from just the fact that Danny is just jealous, and it's because Gregor is interested in Sam, and seeing him trying to justify that Gregor is not a good guy more and more, you just kind of see how much you actually you kind of just see that going more and more, despite the fact that he keeps claiming that Sam's his friend. And on top of that, I just kind of like seeing Sam. I just kind of like seeing him spy on them. It's kind of cute. And Sam, when she learns that Danny was spying on her, actually does a realistic reaction. Like, not what she's doing is none of Danny's business. So she actually does that. So her reaction is kind of valid. But pretty much the whole episode is just pretty much just shipping fodder between Danny and Sam, and kind of seeing Danny get jealous for once. Like, we see them having a positive relationship, and we have hinted that they have more feelings for each other, but at the same time, we've seen Danny go off and have love interests. Like, there's Paulina, and then there's Valerie, which the episode actually opens with him making goo eyes at Valerie while she's at work, but knowing that they're never going to be an item, which I kind of liked. Nice bit of callback. But just kind of even further showing it, like many points, like throughout the entire episode, up until the guys in white accuse Gregor of being Danny Phantom, Danny just, it's clear that Danny's just trying to grasp at straws to not like Gregor, and admittedly, it just kind of shows another side to him. It actually makes him feel more like a teenager too. And I'm not saying that the other episodes haven't done that. Just the episode kind of helps showcase it more. This is an episode where again, as I said, this is an episode that's just, it's a slice of life episode essentially. Seeing Danny get pretty much the entire episode is seeing Danny get jealous about Sam, seeing Sam react when she learns that Danny's been spying on her with his ghost powers, Danny's reaction when he sees them getting along, and just ultimately just kind of seeing a bit of sorrow between the two, as Danny, it does try to leave well enough alone and leave Sam be, and Sam, while angry with him, does still miss him. There are feelings there from both parties. It's just that since neither of them won't have the courage to act on it, things do get complicated between them. At one point, there's actually a nice scene that I like in the episode. Sorry, my dog's over there. There actually is a scene that I like where Danny while in the locker room wants to confront Gregor and accuse him, but Gregor ends up coming up to him, and Gregor is not stupid. He immediately says that he knows that Danny probably doesn't like him, and he even asks him, "Do you have feelings for Sam?" And when Danny is indecisive, and when Danny gets indecisive, Gregor can immediately tell that Danny does not know, that it's complicated, and then odds are that there probably are feelings there, but at the same time, he tells him that if you're indecisive, that listen, you may not know what you want, but I do, so I'm gonna try and make a move, but I hope we can be friends. Which, yeah, it's kind of like a dick move, but I like the way he says it. Actually, that's another thing. I like Gregor in the episode. He does, like, up until the reveal, he just seems like such a nice, cool guy. Like, you see, like, it just gives more fuel to fire for Danny not liking him. And while Danny is wrong, and what I kind of find a little hilarious, that while Danny is wrong about why he should probably not have trusted him, it is funny that when you ultimately learn the guy is pretty much just a poser who pretends to be other people just to impress girls, it's actually kind of funny. And I like that. It's just kind of nice. He's a funny character, and he does give a nice push, a nice little rift. He really is just there to help try and create a rift between Sam and Danny, and I feel like that's the bigger focus in the episode. Just seeing Danny have to deal with the fact that now Sam is the one in a relationship. He's the one that's getting jealous, and he's the one that wants to, and he's the one that's trying to keep Sam from doing something that he thinks she'll regret, or actually trying to get in the way. It's something like that, and we've seen Sam kind of in a similar situation, not to the extreme. Like, she has been a little like she has been a little bit, like she has shown that type of persona somewhat, but not to the point like with Danny. But to see kind of go, see the shoe on the other foot with Danny, see him get jealous, see him want to try and want to have a problem with the relationship because he has feelings. It's actually really not. It's actually kind of cute. Admittedly, the whole episode is just kind of nice, and ultimately how it's resolved with Danny when Sam realizes that Gregor was a fake. She feels like she does feel stupid because she thinks that the only way a guy would be interested in me is if I'm fake. And Danny starts listing all these various reasons why guys can like her, and he slips out that he thinks she's pretty. And at that point, he just kind of shuts up. Which, again, it's just nice. That's just kind of the whole episode. It's just a nice, cute little slice of life episode. Seeing this all come together. As for the superhero stuff, it's not bad too. I like seeing the guys in white are just kind of as as villains go. They do have some nice stuff in there, but they're really just there to create the superhero conflict. Otherwise, the main focus is on the slice of life stuff, and I enjoyed that. So, and yeah, on the whole, this episode is just really cute. Nice seeing kind of Danny get jealous as Sam start going in a relationship. Gregor's a lot of fun even after the reveal, and in fact, even the reveal just kind of makes everything else look funnier. So yeah, on the whole, just a cute, nice bit of shipping fodder. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson, and tune in next week as we look at the season finale of Danny Phantom with hopefully another guest. And it's Haley. I'm not even gonna say no more surprises. It's Haley. I'm gonna be seeing Haley next week. So yeah, see you then. Take care.